History and Geography. Which English monarch claimed the French throne in 1337, effectively initiating the Hundred Years' War? Edward III. What oil-rich city in northeastern Iraq has historically been a major center for the country's Kurdish population? Kirkuk. Which coastal city in Saudi Arabia was the site of a notorious 1996 terrorist bombing targeting a housing complex for foreign military personnel? Khobar. Which ancient civilization built the Great Sphinx and the Pyramids of Giza? Ancient Egypt. Pop culture and entertainment. Which American actor voiced the iconic character of Genie in Walt Disney's 1992 animated classic Aladdin? Robin Williams. Which prolific voice actor is best known for providing the voice of SpongeBob SquarePants? Tom Kenny. What iconic Looney Tunes cartoon character is famous for his catchphrase, "What's up, Doc?" Bugs Bunny. Who founded the global animation and entertainment empire that produced Mickey Mouse and opened Disneyland? Walt Disney. Who is the fictional victim murdered aboard the Orient Express in Agatha Christie's famous detective novel Murder on the Orient Express? Mr. Ratchet. Science and mythology. According to ancient Hebrew scripture, who was the brother of Cain and the second son of Adam and Eve? Abel. Which ancient Greek poet authored the Theogony and Works and Days, detailing early Greek myths and agricultural life? Hesiod. What famous theoretical physicist developed the theory of relativity and won the 1921 Nobel Prize in Physics? Albert Einstein. History and Geography. 10th century traveler Al-Makdisi lauded this Syrian capital as an earthly paradise. Damascus. 15th century Iberians did not want to be interrogated by Tomás de Torquemada, the first Grand this Inquisitor. American history is changed forever in Robert Sobel's For Want of a Nail, if Burgoyne had won at the 1777 battle in New York. Saratoga. In 1337 Edward the Black Prince was the first to get this title, the highest rank of British peerage. Duke. In a novel by E.B. Lomax, this man who helped lead the Arab revolt against the Ottomans survives his motorcycle crash but with no memories. T.E. Lawrence. In the 1890s Edmund Lawrence penned It May Happen Yet, a tale of this man's invasion of England, which he really did plan for 1805. Napoleon Bonaparte. Israel's main seaport, this city of about 1.1 million extends from the Mediterranean to the slopes of Mount Carmel. Haifa. It was Egypt's capital from near its founding around 332 BC until it surrendered to Arab forces in 642. Alexandria. Khobar in Saudi Arabia on this body of water features a massive desalination plant providing fresh water for 3 million. The Persian Gulf. Kirkuk in Iraq is said to be home to the tomb of this biblical prophet of the Babylonian exile, and a mosque there bears his name. Daniel. Since Rome is in charge in Ben-Hur, naturally the credits have this copyright year in Roman numerals, Mcmlix. 1959. The Years of Rice and Salt by Kim Stanley Robinson explores what if the Black Death killed 99% of Europe in this century, not 33%. 14th century. These two titles that went largely out of use in 1917 and 1918 both derive from Caesar. Tsar and Kaiser. Pop culture and entertainment. A California girl like myself, her Hollaback Girl, was the first U.S. digital download to see 1 million copies. Gwen Stefani. For me, one of the great Grammy moments was this singer's 2010 performance of If I Were a Boy, which I watched over and over. She would win 6 awards that evening. Beyoncé. I got some of my greatest inspiration from women singer-songwriters of the 90s, including Sheryl Crow and Sarah McLachlan, who performed at this groundbreaking all-female fest that was co-founded by Sarah. Lilith Fair. In 2022, I got to induct into the Canadian Songwriters Hall of Fame this idol of mine, a true trailblazer whose Jagged Little Pill changed my life. Alanis Morissette. I've been honored to work with indie musician, singer and songwriter Annie Clark. I even play one of her signature guitars. You probably know Annie best by this venerated stage name. Saint Vincent. A conspiracy involving the Freemasons and the royal family helps propel Alan Moore's From Hell about this killer. Jack the Ripper. Bugs Bunny has this man of a 1,000 voices to thank for the signature wisecrack, "What's up, Doc?" Mel Blanc. James Earl Jones refused credit for years for voicing this character, out of respect for David Prowse, who played him on screen. Darth Vader. Mr. Ratchet gets a train full of stabs in this novel from 1934. Murder on the Orient Express. Robert Bloch's novel about this twisted dude and his ever-loving ma got turned into a Hitchcock film in 1960. Norman Bates. Robin Williams' remarkable improv work as the voice of this 1992 character has been called a watershed moment in animation history. The Genie. This slasher with a sweet name in a work by Clive Barker has a hook and can summon bees. Candyman. Tom Kenny, the voice of this cartoon pineapple dweller, says, "I definitely don't look the same as I did in 1999, but he does." SpongeBob SquarePants. Walt Disney himself got aboard this 1928 Mickey Mouse short, providing dialogue that's regarded as the first instance of modern voice acting. Steamboat Willie. Wendy Torrance slashes her husband's hand as he chases after her with a mallet in the Stephen King novel. The Shining. Food, drink and business. A 1950s Puerto Rican hotel bar is thought to be the birthplace of this cocktail with a name meaning strained pineapple. Pina colada. Key to the frothy deliciousness of the pisco sour is pisco brandy, named for a port in this South American country. Peru. Mon Dieu. The fizzy kick of this champagne cocktail evokes the field gun from World War I with which it shares a name. French 75. This apéritif made with crème de cassis and named for a French priest enjoyed a recent revival thanks to Emily in Paris. KIR. This potent mix of four liquors plus triple sec can be blamed neither on Thomas Lipton nor on the good people of Nassau County. Long Island iced tea. This South Korean chaebol, a family-run business, is a leader in auto manufacturing, shipbuilding, electronics, and more. Hyundai. With a name from Tahitian for good, it's a cocktail of curacao, rum, and fruit juices. Mai Tai. Art, literature, and mythology. Any decent rap about Rapa Nui would have to mention these giant stone carvings found there. Moi. Cain's brother and competent. Abel. Hesiod named this many muses of Greek myth, including Erato, Talia, and Rania. 9. Ironically, an observer at the 1504 transport of this new sculpture wrote that stones were thrown at the giant to injure it. David. L'attente or waiting, showing a seated dancer, is one of his 1880s masterpieces. Edgar Degas. Ready-mades like a urinal labeled as a fountain were part of this early 20th century art movement. Shunned by Spanish surrealists for his views on fascism, he moved to the U.S. in 1940 and began working in jewelry and design. Salvador Dali. This collection begins with a poem not by the credited author but by his rival Ben Jonson, commenting on an engraving. The First Folio. Science and vocabulary homophones. Comets destroy much of the northern hemisphere in the Peshawar Lancers, and the remnant British Empire is ruled from this Asian nation. India. Diane Martini decorates oyster shell interiors via this French-named process of applying and coating paper images. Découpage. Einstein won his Nobel for work not on relativity but on this effect, the emission of electrons by metal exposed to light. The photoelectric effect. Heard before, dome, in reference to the structure seen here. In physics, it's the shortest path between 2 points of curved space. Geodesic. Inlets of seas, or the material used to cover gaming tables. Firths and bays. Ions come in 2 flavors, the negatively charged anions and the positively charged these. Cations. Most all the visible matter in the universe exists as this, sometimes called the fourth state. Plasma. Prepare to meet your this, mass divided by volume. Density. Produced, or a young woman, perhaps milking. Maid. This maternal term for an abbess puts her atop the other nuns. Mother Superior. To compare, or an organism combining a fungus and an alga. Lichen and lichen. Wordplay and trivia miscellaneous. A tricenquinquagenary, writers, I will have my vengeance, in this life or the next, honors an event this many years past. 350 years. In 1982 there were a total of 13 billionaires on the first list called the Forbes this, having $100 million cracked it. 400. Hypocritical talk and is not competent. Can't. On March 2, 1962 Al Attles scored a solid 17 points in Philly's 169-147 win over the Knicks. Wilt Chamberlain added this many. 100. This Native American people have lived in the Grand Canyon and the surrounding region for more than 1,000 years. Havasupai. This religion founded by Mirza Hussein Ali Nuri in 1863 professes that all faiths honor the same God. The Baha'i faith. World War II foes Bernard Montgomery and Erwin Rommel both held this outdoorsy-sounding rank that's even higher than general. Field Marshal.